Hi, this is Nikki Lane, and you're listening to Kink Live at the Bing Lounge in Portland, Oregon.
So Nikki, the first question I have is, okay, explain that little piece of magic that happened when you got up here. Audience, okay, tell me.
Well, I'm just learning, going out on the road and being a touring musician, you learn really quickly about trying to cater to your audience. Like, for instance, when we headline, I can do anything I want, because more than likely you paid to come see me. But when we open, you sometimes have to look around and be like, these people are kind of like, I'm like a bonus. Or not. Or I'm like or it could mess it up. And so we opened for Loretta Lynn the other night, and we were really timid. We were like, what do we talk about? Like, are these people going to be offended? They weren't. It's amazing. They weren't. We actually did a really good job. But sometimes when I think about the lyrics of my songs and I look at the age of my fans, I'm like, I'm going to wait a minute, and then I'm going to be like, earmuffs. Yes. You guys, did you need a Coca-Cola? Anyone got Coca-Cola money for these guys? They're going to go to the drink station.
Mommy, what's a broken heart?
I know. Yeah.
So you're out on the road. All or Nothing is the new-ish album, because you've been working it. Yeah, so that's...
Doesn't feel new anymore.
It doesn't?
You know how long 6 months feels in a van? Sometimes people are like, how is South by Southwest? I'm like, what are you talking about? That was in March. Like
5 lifetimes since then.
I don't have any idea.
Well, you guys played Seattle last night, and you've got a couple Northwest boys in the band, so they were telling me about a great homecoming. Does each city you go to have a totally different flavor, or do they all blur together at a certain point?
It depends. I definitely think there are certain regions where people I think they work hard and they play hard. You know what I mean? There are some big cities, and I'm not talking about Portland, I'm not just saying that, but where they're a little lazy. They're they got it easy, and they come out and they kind of stand and they don't do whatever. And then you get to the middle of Iowa or Illinois in the middle of the winter, and people are like, yeah! And you're like, same thing with Australia, man. They're like, you came here? Just screaming, and you're like, thank you, God, because we drive a long way. You guys are lucky. We never complain because we're always coming from Seattle. It's only been 3 hours. We're always grateful to be here because it's only been 3 hours. We went from Kansas City to Seattle with a broken fuel pump the other day, so we didn't turn the car off.
28 hours.
28 hours to replace a fuel pump that wasn't actually broken is the new update. Something else is broken. So we have a new fuel pump that we didn't need. And we turn the car off now. If it doesn't start, we're just going to live here.
and we'd be grateful to have you. Oh, my gosh. Let me ask you real quick about the Loretta Lynn show. That must have been a treat for you.
Oh, my goodness. I was poker face. I always give the boys a hard time if they're nervous. We played Conan, and I was like, that's just 300 tourists. They got free tickets. They're gonna love it, But Loretta, I was doing the same thing. I was like, somebody opens for Loretta every show, so don't get too tickled. And then I saw her, and I almost started crying. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is real. 6 years ago, I learned how to play "Dreaming My Dreams" by Waylon Jennings and "Family Tree" by Loretta Lynn, in the same week, really poorly. I played it for Brooke the other day. I was like, whew. Did not know how to play guitar, and now we just opened up for her. So, and she was nice to me.
That's worth everything, isn't it?
Whew, yeah, and she's the age of my grandmother, and she's working it. She's and I'm just like, oh no, I'm doing this in 60 years. Great. Perfect. Perfect.
Well, last question. Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys produced the new album. What was it like to work with somebody who's had some success and a good track record and probably a different working style?
I think what's good is he's a musician and a producer, which can go either way. And I think the good thing about Dan is that he doesn't try to put his stick on you. He doesn't even have one as far as I'm concerned. I think he makes a different record for every artist, but he doesn't try to push his ego, what he's working on my record, which I think happens with some musician producers where you're like, oh, that's another one that guy made. Oh, okay. That sounds just you know what I mean? I was really flattered to be, and I wouldn't have tolerated that anyways. I would have quit. Pretended to be dead or something. But we didn't have to deal with that. We got our pick of any musician we needed in Nashville, which is a game changer. To have Kenny Vaughn on guitar, and I love Russ Paul, the guy that played pedal steel. I could not call up and get the McCrary sisters to sing on my record. Maybe now, but because Dan opened the door, you know what I mean? So to have that kind of access, and also to have somebody that's really trying to help you develop your songs, I think is worth every bit of the time and the money and
Well, you
Money.
sure avoided the time and the money and the money. Well, it's your sophomore effort, and you absolutely avoided the dreaded sophomore slump. All or Nothing is the album. It's fantastic. Be sure to pick it up. And before you continue, would you please introduce the guys in the band?
Yeah, that's great. I have Eric Whitman over here playing bass. One of my Port Angeles boys, Northwestern boys. Ben Eyestone. They're basically brothers, blood brothers. Are you guys blood brothers? We could do that tonight. I got a tattoo kit. And then that's Alex Munoz over there on guitar. He's from Spain. We're trying to marry him off so that he can stay here. And we just recently started trying. Last night, actually. It occurred to me that you weren't legal. Are you? Oh, sorry. That's good news. 2 more years. Oh, Ben Eyestone. I lumped him in with Eric. I'm sorry. I thought of them as one person. That's Ben Eyestone, ladies and gentlemen, on drums. Adorable Port Angelian.
Yeah. Now, Ben gets his own applause. And, of course, Nikki Lane.